Well, gang, time to grab the corkboard and the red string because I have an MCR theory. Another one. This one came to me at 3 a.m. That's all I gotta say. But you guys gotta hear me out, okay? Hear me out! This may be the craziest theory I've ever come up with, but y'all gotta hear me out. Okay, so we know that a few months ago, news broke that there are talks for a Black Parade Broadway musical being in production or set to go into production sometime in 2026, right? Last night, I was traipsing around MCR TikTok until 4 o'clock in the morning when I really should have been going to sleep, but time is a construct and I have free will. I do what I want. Anyway, I came across this person's video that unfortunately got deleted between the time I saw it last night and now, because when I went to find it in my saves, it was no longer there. But they have a theory that MCR5 is going to be a sister album to the Black Parade. And the band is essentially going to do the same thing that they did in the initial Black Parade tour, where the first half of the show is them performing the entire Black Parade album front to back, and then the second half of the show is where they do their other songs. Only this time, the first half of the show is going to be the Black Parade album front to back, and then the second half of the show is going to be MCR5. And I think that a Black Parade musical being in the works further solidifies this. Hear me out. On its own, the Black Parade has 14 songs total, including the bonus track, Blood. And while that's perfect for an album, it barely constitutes as enough to make a full-length Broadway musical. And even if you add the B-sides onto it, which is only 5 songs long, you still end up with only 19. But let's say this person's theory ends up being true and they release MCR5 and it's somewhere around the same length of songs, either 14 or 19, you would end up with somewhere around 38 songs total, which is way more within the realm of a Broadway musical soundtrack length. And it would end up being the second longest Broadway musical soundtrack, second only to Hamilton, which clocks in at 46 songs total, or 2.5 hours runtime-wise. And before Hamilton came along, the longest Broadway musical soundtrack was Les Miserables with 33 songs. So thanks to this person, I think MCR5 is going to be the sister album to the Black Parade, and it's going to make up the second half of the soundtrack for the Broadway musical. Mark my words, if I end up being right about this, I am going to lose my mind.